Hi guys. So it's been a while since I last spoke to you. I don't even know where to begin. It's honestly like I'm living in some alternative universe. So the latest thing is obviously we've still got the virus pandemic going on. The Tories have used this opportunity, a lot like Hitler, by the way, to seize control of the country, get rid of our human rights. Each day we're losing human rights more and more. We keep being told that there's no money for pensions, for free school meals, for pay rises for nurses. We were told all this, and then a few days ago it was announced that MPs were going to get a pay rise during a pandemic, which I think is absolutely effing disgusting. Every single one who accepts that pay rise is a traitor. And I, along with many other people, will be spending the rest of our lives, as long as it takes, making sure that those people are brought to justice. What is happening right now is criminal. There will be investigations into it. And I will be making sure that there is as much evidence as possible for the UN, who I've been messaging, sending information, evidence, etc., because there will be an investigation into this. Just like the Nazis, there was the Nuremberg trials afterwards. There will be trials after this. These people will be brought to justice and they will go to prison because they are fascists. Simple as that. But until then, we have to survive a pandemic. Now, first of all, pandemics happen all the time, all over the world. It's a regular thing. We can control a lot of things about our lives, but we cannot control biology. We cannot control viruses or bacteria. They multiply faster than we can rectify the problem. So to not be prepared for a pandemic is kind of like not being prepared for a fire. It's just stupid, because at some point there will be a pandemic and you will have to deal with it. And they weren't prepared at all. They funneled a lot of the money which should be going to people in need. Obviously, the virus has closed down a lot of industries right now, and a lot of people are having to stay home, myself included. They're having to sign on because they're not allowed to do their work. So for me, for example, I'm a performer, I'm a musician, so I can't do gigs, I can't do shows. Obviously, I can't earn any money. Their response to this was to tell us to retrain by using a very, very offensive picture of a ballet dancer, saying that her next job should be on the internet, but she doesn't know it yet. Incredibly offensive. As an artist, and I know there are artists out there are performers out there who will completely and utterly agree with me. I'm a musician, I'm a performer. I have done that my whole life. I went to stage school for 2 years. I then studied performing arts for a year. I then studied music for 5 years. This is not a subject that you just decide to do. This is a subject that you spend years training for, endless hours of practice, normally sacrificing your own free time, because that also happens in performance. Any type of artist, any type of dancer, singer, actress, you do a lot of work for free to prepare for whatever it is that you are doing. It's not something that you just decide on a whim that you're going to do. And it's certainly not something that you just decide on a whim that you're not going to do. Okay? I've spent my whole life preparing to be a performer, and that is what I will do. We have had a vote on, first of all, we've had a vote to strip people of their human rights. And some MPs, Keir Starmer included, and if anyone wants to know, Dan Jarvis, who is the MP for Barnsley, didn't vote for this, he abstained. So Keir Starmer told all the Labour MPs to abstain from this vote. This is a human rights vote, by the way. Starmer is supposed to be a human rights lawyer, and he told everyone to abstain from the vote, which means this vote was able to pass, stripping us of some of our human rights. There's one. Next, we've had, the last few days, there's been a vote on feeding hungry children, which, as far as I'm concerned, isn't up for discussion. This feeding hungry children is one of the many things that we pay our taxes for, okay? We pay our taxes so that everyone gets housing and food, everyone gets medicine that they need, everyone gets schooling, everyone gets housing. These are the things we pay our government for. There is no excuse, there is no vote, there is no discussion, as far as I'm concerned. You feed hungry children because it is your job. Simple as that. As I've said before, we're in the middle of a pandemic, which the current administration were not prepared for, which again, this is what we pay MPs for. This is what we pay governments for. So there is absolutely no excuse to not be prepared for it. We are being culled. In this country, we are being culled. The Tories do what they do every time when they come in, which is they punish the areas that don't vote for them. They punish the people that don't vote for them. So, despite the fact that the country was opened up and people were forced to send their children to school, knowing it wasn't safe, we've now had a massive increase in cases. I know, amazing. But we've had a massive increase in cases, and instead of having a national lockdown, the regime have decided to just put lockdowns on certain areas. And as you can probably guess, those areas are Labour areas. They are socialist areas. They are areas that they have had problems with before, such as Manchester and Liverpool. These are socialist areas who do not like Tories, and they are being punished. There is no medical evidence to suggest this theory that, places in Liverpool and Manchester are being shut down before London when the cases in London completely outweigh anywhere else. But they won't lock that down because that affects them personally, and they won't do that. We've seen lots of our public money fuddled through businesses who, shock horror, they are friends of the administration. This country, the current political system, the police, politics, media, is completely corrupt. I urge anyone who watches this, anyone who is a decent human being, I urge you to do as much as you can, make as much noise as you can about this. Protest, contact the UN. We need to make sure that the rest of the world knows that we are currently under a fascist regime who do not represent the people and are leaving us to die. For 7 months, I've been told, as a northern performer, as a self-employed performer, as an asthmatic, that my life does not matter. If I die, oh well, one for the team. These people do not care about anyone but themselves, and it's about time we got rid of them. So, as my new necklace, which I'm very happy about, by the way, it says, "Fuck the Tories," from a company called Fuck the Tories. So if you do want some jewellery that tells the Tories to fuck off, I suggest you check out that website. It's a very good necklace. And keep fighting the good fight. At the end of the day, life is the most important thing. Not money. Life. Support your friends, support your family, support each other. We have only got each other. Stay safe, guys. Bye.